like to start off by letting everyone know that I have decided to run for president in 2016. And I would like to start off my presidential candidacy with questions that anyone may have about culture and sustainability.
Hello, Senator Meza. What initial beliefs did you have about culture and sustainability at the beginning of your term? And how do these two relate, if at all?
Well, at the beginning of the term, I believe that culture is simply just a shared way of life among a certain group. But since then, I've learned that culture is a lot more than just that. And as of sustainability, I didn't have much of a clue about it from a social science perspective. I didn't realize how important sustainability was when related to culture. I knew that sustainability is to maintain or to keep existent, so I imagined it followed the lines of something similar.
To follow up on the last question, what current beliefs do you have about culture and sustainability? And again, how do these two relate, if at all?
Since the beginning of my term, I've learned that culture is much more than a shared way of life. As I mentioned earlier, it is not only a shared way of life, it is traditions, values, customs, beliefs. These things that I just named are determined by a specific group or community over time. Culture is material and non-material. Material being objects, artifacts, tools, technology, food, etc. While non-material are symbols, language, meanings, beliefs, attitudes, values, norms or expectations, statuses, and roles. And yes, sustainability is directly related. Sustaining culture is very important. Each culture is special in their own way. While each individual tries to sustain their own culture, they should try to help others sustain their cultures as well.
So, as a senator, what was the most influential thing that happened during the term? And how did it affect your view on culture and sustainability?
I believe the several artifacts that I had done over the period of time had the most impact on me. The questions that were asked for those artifacts really made me think. Thinking about the objects through a culture brought a new world of thought to me. It made me truly think about how everything has a cultural impact. The artifacts made me more culturally aware and gave me a better understanding of what culture and sustainability is.
Senator Meza, what does it mean to consider culture and sustainability from a social science perspective?
To consider culture from a social science perspective, I refer to a German-American anthropologist, Frank Boas. Boas described it as looking at the world through a pair of cultural glasses. When wearing the glasses, you can perceive the world around you from a cultural standpoint. Glasses can help prevent inappropriate behavior towards or in front of a culture. And another way to perceive culture is through material and non-material. As I mentioned earlier for the second questioner, material and non-material were first introduced by Polish anthropologist Bronislaw Malinowski. Being able to understand culture through material and non-material is very effective because you can understand how they perceive things. You're able to understand the cultural path they are walking.
How do the common ideas about culture and sustainability in U.S. society compare to the alternative possibilities or cross-cultural views?
Well, to begin that question, I believe that culture in the United States is dominated by money and or possessions. Most people that were raised in the United States tend to believe that money is the most important thing that exists. Us Americans seem to care more about what we have physically rather than what we have emotionally. We believe that the amount of money someone has is a direct reflection of how much someone has worked, which in American culture is a controllable action. Working is a controllable circumstance. We believe if you work hard, you'll earn a lot of money, and with that money, you are worth more. In comparison to a relatively familiar first world country, the United Kingdom, who could care less about money and possessions. Obviously, it is still an important aspect in everyday life, but isn't UK's first concern when it comes to culture. In UK, the most valued thing in their culture is equality before law. Everyone is equal. They believe that no one should be treated differently because of a particular group they belong to. These two ideas are very dominant in each of their respectable cultures. I believe they are comparable cultures because of their success as countries.
How will your current understanding of culture, sustainability, and how they relate affect your everyday life when your term ends and in the future?
Learning about culture and sustainability, I developed a great understanding of what I need to do in the future. I've grown more culturally aware in the past few months than ever before. Learning about culture and sustainability has made me realize how different cultures may be. But I must respect them because that is my personal duty, because I expect them to respect mine. Not everyone will have the same cultural beliefs, but it's my responsibility as a culturally aware human to respect their culture, although it may be different from mine. I also believe that I am obligated to help people understand that other people may have a different culture, but that is entirely okay.